founded Harbour Care in 2012, and now we've got 85 volunteers that help me clean the beaches. 90% of what I pick up is plastic that's tossed away. It is slowly improving. We are seeing a few little fish come in and the water is a little bit clearer. And by removing the plastic, we stop it deteriorating, decomposing into microfibre. I have recorded over 23,000 litres in the time we've been operating, every month, every year. It's great being out there in the fresh air, and half an hour later it's clear of rubbish. So it gives you a feeling of satisfaction, knowing that you're helping the environment, and thank the volunteers for all the work they do. My name is Michael Stevens, and I'm a volunteer for Harbour Care.
I've been involved with Bush Care and Streets Alive for 30 years. We work on trying to make wildlife corridors from bushland, along the Navy fence, along the railway line, and then we can turn it into a bush. Started small, local, and now it's got bigger and bigger. I've got 10 areas. Council's really supportive. With our group we can do delicate weeding, we can do big rough stuff. It's also very relaxing, very rewarding. And here it's like, wow, look at that. I can breathe air. And if you're feeling peaceful, it's just very satisfying. This is the planet for the children, for the birds and the bees. My name is Vera Yee. I'm an active volunteer with the Streets Alive North Sydney program.
Mary's House Services is a not-for-profit providing domestic violence services to women and their children through the Mary's House Refuge and the Daisy Centre, an outreach support service. It's funded by the community for the community. Some practical examples of what we do is to provide professional services like financial support, admin and office support, childcare and deliveries. Over the last 8 years, our volunteers have been the backbone of our operations.
Anything to do with philanthropy actually is about alleviating pain, suffering and equality. And I've met some wonderful people and it just basically has enriched my life and gives it purpose. Yeah, I'm very grateful to Mary's House that I'm able to helping the women in need.
It was a very rewarding experience for me. I found it very, very rewarding to be giving in that environment.
We are Mary's House. We are here to support women and children experiencing domestic and family violence.
Greenway Tenants Group is a volunteer group of about 12 people. This group does a variety of items, principally Oz Harvest, where we provide food twice a week to our residents. As well as that, we have a garden area. We have a men's shed that was created by that. I think the major reason that it's unique is because we have almost built a city within a city. We have been sponsoring people also over the years. They came to us and we, as a registered charity, which we became, are able to employ those people on a voluntary basis. We are Greenway Tenants Group and we volunteer for the 400 residents of Greenway.
Bridges to Burrawa started with a bush care volunteer. He started a conversation with the local land care and he was saying, you know, how the land was getting degraded, how the habitat for the parrot was being reduced, and said, you know, there should be corridors planted for the native animals to go through. The person who was the North Sydney bush carer said, well, if I bring you some volunteers to do the planting, you know, can you do it? And this is how it started. Every year there is a bus with volunteers. We start off at 7 in the morning here from North Sydney Council. Then we have morning tea on the way. Then we get into Buro about 11:30. You bring your own picnic, you have something to eat, and then it's off to the first site, and the planting starts. I do bush care at Primrose Park twice a month. When we started that particular site, there was nothing there except privet. So over the years now, it sort of has regenerated a lot of native plants. My name is Sister Stewart, and I'm a bush care volunteer for North Sydney.
I've helped a number of organisations, starting off about 14 years ago with Kirribilli Neighbourhood Centre, and then also with North Sydney Council, and now with Link Wentworth Housing. My work started off when Tremaine Boarding House was closed in 2010, and a number of people there had been living there for 20 or 30 years. They were very vulnerable, disadvantaged. It was really traumatic for about 10 or 20 of the 100 or so tenants that were there. Very tight rental market, housing is a real problem for everyone. What I'm particularly interested in is using my background from practicing as a solicitor for many years to help people, because there are lots of people who are community minded and want to do something useful for the community, but a background in law really equips you with the skills and experience to really get things done and to solve complex problems. So I continued doing this sort of work because I enjoyed it, but also I could see that I could actually bring something quite interesting and useful. My name is Mark Shulovsky, and I particularly enjoy using my legal experience to help people with community housing.
At Redlands, as part of our service program, about 50 or so of us visit Bougainvillea every week. We interact and have meaningful conversations with the residents. We talk to them about their lives, their experiences, help them out with any technology.
They have printers in their room, and it's like if they want to print like tickets out, or if their family's coming to visit and they want photos.
And Wi-Fi connection sometimes.
Yeah. The excitement that the residents get talking about their own families and things that they enjoy, I think it just makes me happy to see other people happy, and learning new things like the game with Rodney is just really fun.
It's just rewarding seeing the impact that you can have and how happy they are to see us, even for such a short amount of time of the 30 minutes that we do.
In the bush care team, I mainly volunteer at Benangi Reserve, and we aim to conserve the land on that area. So we're mainly working on weeding the area and removing, like clipping off vines. We aim for biodiversity, so like a range of plants to be growing in the same area. Ever since I was a little child, I felt I needed to do something to make a difference, especially considering how urgent the climate crisis is. So I think it's very important, especially for our younger generations, to be aware of this as well. Our younger generations really need a voice, because it's going to be our future that we will have to deal with what's happening. Currently, I'm one of the captains of our environment club, helping students to be more aware of environment crises and different issues around the world. My name is Ishnika, and my aim is to inspire my generation to care for the environment.
So one day we were just doing our thing again, and we heard all this crashing and banging, so we decided to look out the window. We saw trees being knocked down, and it was really devastating. We could hear the birds make noises and the possums running and everything, so we felt really bad for them. The government's going to be doing some work on the golf course and building a tunnel, and we're like, oh no, this is not good, because all the birds and animals aren't going to have homes. So that's why we decided to contact the council to see if we could put in some bird boxes. We were first asked them if we could put some pumpkins there, and they were all like, okay, yeah, you can do it. And then along this brick wall. Maybe we should put some plants and more wildlife there, so then we could attract more of the animals since all the buildings going on. I think it was a good idea that we could contact the council and the Streets Alive to get that going. I am Ted Greenaway and I love looking after the wildlife and plants and animals around me.